Happy New Year and welcome to 2024. I am sending you blessings of abundance, alignment, and prosperity for this upcoming year. And I will go into the universal year number, what to expect for this year. This is a non-prediction video, as I truly feel that it is so crucial for us to understand our future, our direction, our vision, based on what we feel, based on connecting with ourselves. There are so many predictions going around, and it's always fun to check them out and see what's going to show up. But I do encourage you to feel within yourself, use your intuition, use your inner guidance system. And of course, this year is going to be very important to make decisions based on alignment, based on taking your time and really feeling what is right for you. Now, on a global collective level, there's a lot happening in this world. And I generally don't touch too much on what is happening on the collective level, although I'm definitely aware. And it is important to be aware of it. But it's also important to not fall into fear or to not fall into the negativity or the collective shadow, and to really, again, use your own internal guidance system for navigating these times, as we are in an incredible time right now of shifting and changing and transformation. And I have been witnessing incredible change with those closest to me. I have been seeing a lot of change with people I work with. It is a beautiful, beautiful process that we're in, that's unfolding right in front of us, that we're part of. And this is something that should be witnessed. This is something that should be acknowledged and appreciated, because I know this whole journey can be extremely difficult. I know it can be tough. I know it can bring up traumas and pain and suffering and sorrow. But through that transition, we get to align more with who we are. We get to create. We get to find in our heart what love truly is. We get to enjoy life more, and we get to create meaningful relationships, all the good things. There are so many different ways to measure success, and this is what I want to talk about moving into 2024. So I'm going to break it down into a few different aspects of what is going to happen potentially on a collective level, just based on some of the things that I've been seeing, what I feel, but I'm not going to focus too much on that. I want to focus on your individual journey, what's going to happen maybe within yourself, and I'm going to touch upon a little bit on numerology, a little bit on astrology is what I love to look at, just connecting the dots to find out how we can make sense of what might be showing up in our lives. And of course, you have your own chart, you have your own identity, you have your own way of being. So you're going to have your own unique experience that is unlike anyone else's. But there are common threads that do connect us to similar experiences on a greater level. And so again, I will highlight some of those aspects as well. So we are moving into a universal year 8. If you didn't catch my podcast, I believe it's episode 50 or 49, but it is on the Beyond the Veil podcast. I do recommend checking it out with the interview with Tom Eckert, numerologist, who walks through the frequency or the energies of the year 2024 under the influence of 8. So there's been a lot of content going out there with regards to 8 being a number that represents personal power and prosperity, which, yes, there is truth to that. But there's also a lot of other things that happen beneath the surface. And that's why also I encourage you, most importantly, to do your own exploratory journey of discovery, to go into the layers and to find the information that works for you to work with this year, this time, for your benefit. As I mentioned, we're all on different journeys, but there are common threads that we can align with for working with this year to our full potential. And so the 8 is a very powerful number. We're going into a year where you might even notice the change in energy, already starting to develop. You may notice the change in power, strength, courage. If you've been on the last 3 to 4 cycles of change and transformation and really going inward, working on healing, the shadow work, self-discovery, manifestation, all of those different aspects within our abilities, then you're probably going to feel these energies more as we move along. So since I've gone through this rapid change within myself, I have become more sensitive. We all have different layers of sensitivity. Mine is going to be different than yours. However, I do notice within myself that I am tuning in more with energy, with emotions, with other people. So I do feel moving into this year, we have a very potent energy to work with. I am already feeling it. And I'm also witnessing, as I mentioned, a lot of change happen with many people who've been through this last 3 to 4 years of a lot of upheaval, a lot of uncertainty, depression, sadness, pain, suffering, sorrow, confusion. I feel that there's a big shift happening out of that time where we can align with now this ability to create. So if you've gone through the change, if you've gone through the shifts, the motions, the uncertainty, the depression, the highs, the lows, and everything in between, this could very well align you with what you want to create based on those experiences, based on self-discovery, based on a deeper understanding of yourself. So if you've gone through a lot of what I just mentioned, if you've gone through many of those experiences, what do you want to do with it now? What do you want to create in your reality? This 8 frequency allows you to do that. Now, you have your own personal year number, and this is numerology I focus on. I love it. Ever since I discovered it, it changed a lot for me. This is something I look at very carefully. So you might want to look at your personal year number, because your personal year number is going to be your unique experience for the year. And that number paired with the 8 is going to have a certain combination. Again, we have that 8 in effect for the year for all of us on a collective level, which I will touch on in a moment. But again, for you to work with this energy, it is going to be very important for you to understand your personal year number and how it relates to the 8, because that's going to give you a little bit of a clue of what's coming in for this year. And of course, the challenges that may come along with it. 8 can be a hugely destructive energy. If it is not in balance, if it is imbalanced, then it can be very destructive. It also has a tie with people say karma, right? So things that we put in motion that are not in alignment with our highest good has some kind of repercussion as the effect. So this is a time to be in the cause, meaning for you to be in the driver's seat of your reality, for you to be in alignment with your highest good and the practical realm. So what do you want to build? The success, the abundance, and success is measured in many different ways. So it may be good to tap into that meaning of success in your life. What does success mean for you? There are many different ways of looking at it. Right? So the more in alignment that we can be, and the more cautious that we can be about our choices that we make and take our time with this, that because of the energy frequency can be very strong, it is going to require us to take a little bit of extra time to think things through and to feel our way through this. And that's why I mentioned this is a non-prediction video, because I want you to use your inner guidance to feel through these steps as we move forward. To understand your future as well, we can really start to connect with our intuition and our inner guidance when we listen within, when we spend time within ourselves, and when we take time, not trying to rush, not trying to push. Time is infinite. We have a lot of time to work with. So try to let go of the concept of time and let go of any attachments that need to be let go of so that you can work with this energy for your full advantage. Now, on a collective level, 8 is a very powerful number. There's a lot of power plays that I think we have an election coming in the United States and in Russia as well. However, I do feel regardless, there's a lot of power coming up to the surface that hasn't been seen before, meaning people who are opposing certain forces of power, right? So we can see a clash of those powers coming together, some friction showing. There can be those in power who have their existing place in power, reinforcing their power onto others. So the downside of it, though, is that power that's reinforcing can also create a lot of devastation due to its imbalance with power. All right, so what does power mean, and how do we work with this ability of power, this sensation, this even emotion or internal self to do with power? Well, power can, in the past, power has been known to be very abusive. Power can be very abusive. Power can be very creative. It can create. You can think of nature, the laws of nature that create beautiful results in nature. But you can also see the destruction and devastation of those laws as well, right? So as I mentioned, this year is all about listening to your inner guidance and feeling your way through this year. There's going to be a lot happening on the collective level. I truly feel in my gut that there are going to be a lot of surprises. There are going to be a lot of, as I mentioned, reinforcement of power, a lot of power plays, because also power translates into many different aspects of our reality. It translates into money. It translates into greed. It translates into fear. And truthfully, when someone is in power, enforcing their power without being in alignment with their highest good, it can come from a place of fear, domination, assertion. So there's a lot at play with the word power itself. And you can reflect on the word power within yourself and see how you can assert it in a way of great change and creation and manifestation and alignment, but also witness what is happening in the world and where that power is coming from truly. And a lot of it does come from fear. I do feel that there's going to be a big rise of these power plays this year. How it is going to turn out, I have no idea. It's really hard to understand exactly the form. And even within my own experience working with predictions, for example, usually they turn out in completely different ways than first assumed. But I do want to just paint a little bit of the picture from more of a broad brush so that you can get a feel of what might be coming in. And I really want to reinforce the opportunity this year that we have to tap into this energy and to not be in fear. It is so easy to fall into fear. There is so much fear in this world. There has been for hundreds of years, but it is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But also the flip side, a lot of us are starting to become more evolved, awakened, and releasing from that fear. And when we release from that fear, we become more empowered. We really tap into that power, and that power, that true power with our authenticity, within our alignment, within love, within connection is incredible. And it is starting to happen, right? So on the collective, again, there's going to be the dualities of the light and the dark playing out. There are going to be reinforcements of power, but a lot of this power coming in from authenticity, from light, from love, from alignment, from creativity is going to be really interesting as well. I do really recommend to avoid watching so much of current events, news. It's good to be informed, but try to find that alignment within yourself away from fear. Because as I mentioned, when we're in fear, we become actually disempowered. We lose our ability to connect with ourselves more. We also make poor decisions when we're operating out of fear. And fear is going to be also very crippling on a lot of people. It is very limiting. It is very restrictive. It is very suppressing, oppressive, repressive. It will just really hold people down from living to their full potential and from feeling free or having an ability to understand what it takes to become liberated, to become free sovereigns of themselves and of their life. So this is going to be a very interesting year. And we also have to remember that in 2025 is a universal year 9, which signifies endings. It also signifies enlightenment. It signifies humanitarianism, but it is a death and rebirth, and it is a death and rebirth that has to happen. It is a natural cycle in our lives. So that cycle of death and rebirth is happening on a bigger collective level and also within ourselves. So take some time as we enter into 2024 and connect with how you want your year to unfold, how you envision it, but also how you feel about it. And just see, is there fear there? Is there resentment? Is there uncertainty? Go into that and see what can be released within those beliefs or within those emotions for you to align fully with your highest good and your potential to manifest and to create and to have balance in the practical realm, meaning career, success, your home, your body, relationships. And this is going to be a beautiful time to create. We still may be going through healing. There still is going to be some change within us, but I do feel that a lot of change has happened last year, being in a year 7. a lot of change, enlightenment, discovery, healing, transformation. So now we have a time to create. But of course, we probably still could be going through the motions of healing and transformation. However, this year is going to be a potent year for making powerful moves within your life. So set aside some time to contemplate over this year as we enter in 2024. How do you want your year to be? What do you feel guided towards? What do you feel is in your highest, best interest and your personal calling? Where can you also focus on creating maybe more change for you to manifest and create in the practical realm? How can you create stronger relationship with your highest good? If there's anything that needs to heal and release, then write it down. And this will be part of your year unfolding for you to become more in alignment with your highest good, with your ability to manifest and create whatever that may be. So I'm wishing you all the best with this year and beyond, and I will be seeing you again very soon. Take care.